expect drama during the filming of this video, which means there may not be any drama, because I said there would be drama. But there's been drama in the lead up to it, and there'll almost certainly be drama, B Hollywood B movie type stunts after it. And it's been a classic day for just about every stunt you can imagine being pulled by the Total Institution. Now, an important thing is to take an overview of this. For years, they said they did the type of things they did because I volunteered. They should be able to figure out how much crap that is by now. But now the rationale, the public rationale, is that they do it as a form of care, right? Are you having a fucking laugh? It's like, first with the volunteer type stuff, now with the care type stuff. I know what I need, right? And I tried to explain that to them, but like you will know, when I was in hospital, how they continually tried to hype things up. I did point that out to them. That today was another day for that, left, right, and centre. They got someone to contact me that and that I didn't really want to be contacted by. I don't really want anything to do with anyone for the foreseeable future. I think I've made that clear. But like, they put up this individual to get in touch, and then the druggings afterwards, sort of, yet again, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. Afterwards, I was given the type of druggings that demonstrate clearly that my approach of just taking a step back from people for the foreseeable future is a very wise move. Every time, if I get druggings off the back of interacting with anyone, it sort of suggests best policy is just, be the recluse, the person who enjoys his solitude, and just get on with it for the foreseeable future. I have to wonder, how many things and how many people are they going to get me bored shitless of by the constant amateur dramatics and druggings and so on and so forth? But there are things I like to do. Like I said yesterday, I'm building up in different areas, things I can develop for my day-to-day living. That doesn't seem to be good enough for them, which sort of demolishes, in no small part, even though they would still claim this as the dominant factor, the care element, which they sort of do. But like I keep saying, there is, you only have to look at theorists for this, there is an element of, it's quite, concerning power that these people have got. Today they came round, day 6, brilliant day for me eventually in the end. Like yesterday, sort of building on yesterday, despite all the stunts I pulled, the very fact that I came through those stunts the way that I did is an indication to me of how well things are going for me. In a funny way, them pulling these stunts is actually maybe doing me more good than they think it is. But anyway, they've got the power. I do mention the architects a lot. It's good for me to be grounded by mentioning those. Everyone knows their names. Everyone knows who they are. It makes no odds that I mention these people. But it is important to mention them for me to get these things in perspective and see how it all works and so on and so forth. Interestingly, in 2000, one of their cohort said, "You're repeating yourself." It's like, hang on a sec, what exactly is going on here? Now, it should be quite apparent that the Total Institution, the powers that be behind the Total Institution, involved implicit in the Total Institution, are repeating themselves all over the place. And it's sort of, yet again, if we go back to 2000 to the architects, it's sort of an indication now, yet again, classic psychiatry is you decontextualize the individual, you focus on the individual, and that is it. If a group of people get together and decide, we don't like that fella is... or whatever ideas they get of someone, the default of classic psychiatry is to detain, medicalise, and chemicalise the individual. Rather, as we now know, during 96 and 2000, the critical ability to actually question, question a whole swathe of things. So the only reason during 96 to 2000 that I'd keep going on about stuff was because of the stuff that was going on around me, which, I'm the only one who saw all that from the outside. The other people who were on the inside of it went running around ever since. Certain ones of them have tried to... be part of this Hollywood bullshit. I'm just not interested. And the people I may be interested in or may not, I'm not entirely sure at the moment. I need a break from people, and just to do things my way. I've done certain things the total institution's way, for example, taking meds, going into hospital, being conciliatory with the staff there, and so on, and interestingly not laying into them after the event, which may have been expected by some of them. I don't know. I don't know what they were being fed, but yeah, I shouldn't have to go into detail about all the shenanigans that were pulled today. Chances are, again, I say, if you're watching this video, chances are you're privy to that type of stuff that's been going on. Like, classic example, well, no, all of it's a pretty good example of arguments brought to me that I'm just not fucking interested in. But, no matter what I do, sort of like 1960 to 2000, they are so insistent that they'll pull any measure, use any rationale. Like I said, for a long time it was, I volunteered for this type of stuff. No one would, in any circumstances, apart from the circumstances I found myself in, maybe. No, it's care. There will always be a reason for these people to stick their oar in, always. And like was really, as we get the sound effects in the locale, the build-up of traffic, it's just come. It's like, but it has been a day to laugh at quite a few things, But that is the policy. Had I been, allowed, which was never going to be the case in 2000, eventually I'd have just laughed it off and just put it in its place by, mocking it for what it was, by picking it apart and saying, well, there you go, look at that. That's the way it is. This is the nature of things, and as we start to get hoi polloi and all that, dare I say, running around, as I did say, there will be drama, that sort of thing. But yet another attempt to build things up, and the stunts they pull, like for example, the representatives of the psychiatric unit couldn't use email. The very simple process of email. What they did is they changed the carer that I said I didn't want anything involved to do with. But that was on the pretext that then that would be, that I would see that in rose-tinted glasses and say, oh, look how good they are to me. And quit this notion that I need my own time and space, right? I'm not interested, if these people want to build themselves up and wind themselves up with all sorts of notions, like they tried to pull with me around various things. That really should be down to them. If they want to lock anyone up, lock your fucking selves up and throw away the key. As far as I'm concerned, I couldn't give a shit. But yeah, so all the type of things that went on. I mean, different organisations that have shown themselves up for not being effective organisations when push comes to shove, when the belief system of the total institution gets hold of them, like happened between 1996 and 2000. Again, it's relevant and important for me at least, to mention that type of stuff. But yeah, but come on, it's pretty obvious. The representatives of the local psychiatric unit came round. I'd said repeatedly I wouldn't be answering the door to them. They would have known that. They came round for the show. I'm arguing because so many things happened today and have happened in the lead up to today and will happen tomorrow, most probably, and beyond, is they set up these dramas to make their involvement seem imperative, right? And they'll do that ever more. These people are stuck with the drama and stories and so on and so forth, and desires to bring about various types of subject positions with all manner of people. For example, the ones downstairs. Now, it seems, I'd guess that they're eventually going to try and build them up, sort of like we've seen countless times on wards and so on and so forth, to be something that they're not. That they're not manufactured. That they're not running around pulling the type of stunts that may freak other people out. I don't know, but eventually I'll just brush it off and just get on with my day. A meal tonight, drugged up for the process, of course, and dramas off the back of it. These sequences. By now, come on. If we don't all know the sequences by now, then I suppose we're all living in cloud cooking land. But yeah, I did say I say in yesterday's video that tried to piss on my parade? When I got this thing that I really enjoyed playing about with today. But anyway, they did try it. But when I got my gizmo that I got today out, I really enjoyed playing with it. It was just really enjoyable. So yeah, not the first time that they've pulled stunts like these. Not the first time, if they have freaked people out, that they have freaked people out, and that will probably continue, judging from how many stunts were pulled today. I repeat, to make, and this is classic behaviour of certain institutions or certain belief systems, to make themselves make it seem like it's imperative that they increase their involvement, stick their oar in, and run around here, there and everywhere to stop me doing what within. You've got to remember, it's only today's only day 6, the 6th full day since I've been off that ward, and I think it was not only that I did the type of things I'm doing now and keeping myself to myself. I'm essentially doing that type of thing here, in many ways. But I've got to get on with my routines, developing my routines and the structure I'm building around my life. But I've also got to have a mind on, well, if they take me down the hospital, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. I've been speculating, as you probably know, that I'll probably make me eat meals around people who are trying to do me head in and calling it care or something. And to me, it is beyond the point of farce, I think. But that's just the way it is. But yeah, like I said, only 6 days. And they can drug me up and make whatever they want out of that. But I think it's going really well. But like I say, because they build things up the way they do, the way they try to make so much an involving spectacle, which ultimately, by hook or by crook, they will continue with, regardless of anything I say or do. That's just the nature of it. I read these theorists who say there are ways of doing this, that, or whatever. There ain't really, are there? I think it was blatantly obvious, not least from one organisation of the NHS, which has been co-opted by the total institution into its ways. That's just the way it is. But me, like we yesterday, I'll do what I need to do to, which anyone in my position should do. Make no mistake about that. I made it quite clear with the local psychiatric unit. The email was perfectly adequate for the type of things they stipulated they wanted to go over. Solid argument. Text was instrumental in bringing about science. Psychiatry has pretensions towards science, likes to align itself with science and with medicine and so on and so forth, and yet text all of a sudden isn't good enough for them. But for me, I'm not that good. It may sound like I am, but I'm not that good at thinking on the spot most of the time, and I do like to do things methodically with text. That's why email's better for me. I've pretty much said that many times down the years with these people. That's the way it is. They're trying to make big deals out of just about anything. Trying to construct these dramas around me, and what with drug-ins and so on and so forth. Like for example today, me looking at the drug-ins and thinking, here we fucking go. And it's like pretty much since '96 they started that stunt of making me bored of just about everything and so on and so forth. But now it's in a different way. It's like, because I like my space, because I like my own company, because not only, I could easily say I like doing things my way, but I sort of have compromised, haven't I, with taking a certain degree of meds, even though I want some of those meds reduced, maybe even taken off the antipsychotic these days. Again, would I even need a mood stabiliser if they weren't pulling stunts all around me to make their involvement seem, again, like I say, imperative and necessary and so on and so forth. But I'd argue that if they're adept at anything, it's in trying to make things seem like a bigger deal than what they are. They've been doing that for years, haven't they, basically? But yeah, but anyway, So they came around today. I was, basically told by this organisation of the NHS that's not supposed to go on the way it did today, that they would detain me and all this and all that if I didn't open the door to them. So I packed my bags. I don't know whether I was supposed to go running around, pulling my hair out and I don't know, chucking things around or whatever. I just packed my bags. What if you're going to do that? There's no medical cause for it. Yesterday I had a great day. I am just not interested in the bullshit dramas people bring to me. Because they're in no small measure, like I keep saying, the distant echoes, is up, I don't know where I picked that phrase up from, of the architects. It's basically, if that's their fucking story, take it fucking up with them. But because they've, like I said, all the dramas we had today, by the total institution, engineered by the total institution, they have and they've been doing this for a while, haven't they? Built things up to a certain Hollywood type B movie level, where they're gonna want some sort of resolution, which is another way of saying trying to engineer big deal dramatic moments. So there you go, yet again. Like I said, look over the list. Included in that list now, I should put attempts at to try and send me dizzy with the equivalent of people running around saying "good man, bad man," and all this type of thing. As you know, as you probably know, they were doing it on the ward. It's just like I just totally disregard that stuff today. Point it out now and again, just when I feel like it. But yeah. But I'll come back to something John Gray said in Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Venus. Many men, I wouldn't say all, I wouldn't say most because I don't know, but I guess many men do like to go to their cave. This is now, I'm not back at the former house. I'm here. I did say to the arm of the NHS that's not supposed to behave like it did today, that I didn't want so many negative associations that would come with representatives of the psychiatric unit continually coming around here under the threat of yet more coercive measures. How many coercive measures can you engineer against an individual? That's the way it is. So yeah, again, this is getting things off my chest, and it's pretty remarkable to me when I look back at a lot of these videos. When I make them, they sound to me really bad, but then when I watch them back, I think, well, no, that's all right. I'm making good points there. But anyway. I think the central thing is these attempts of theirs to build things up when everyone should know. I'm completely not interested in big deal dramatic moments, But and the druggings around food and so on and so forth. We now know, surely, even if I'm allowed, 2025. To go out for even a quick coffee somewhere. For example, they changed the times of the coffee shop I went to so they could have more big deal dramas. It's just the nature of it. They do like to build things up to, make some, to capitalise yet further on the position they've engineered for themselves. Which, like I said, there is an element of care, but like I said, there's a whole load of other stuff going on, isn't there? But yeah, like they originally did with volunteering and all that type of thing. But yeah, that was a point I did want to make. Actually, I did refer to that earlier today. There's one of their representatives, yet another one who thought she was part of something great and big and all that business, said, "You're repeating yourself." Well, now I suppose it's time for me to say to the powers that be and the total institution, well, who's repeating themselves now?